I'm in Autodesk Showcase and I want to create a new architectural scene. So I click on the New Scene tab. I see templates, scene templates. These are immersive environments within which I can have my model files. If I click on the More tab, I'll see that there's actually 4 kind of general categories for the scenes. I'm going to the architectural and I'm going to say Show More. So I can see, you know, conceptual, human scale, showcase. I'm going to pick on the outside context, the one that says green field environment. And then I'm going to decide on what files I want to bring into this, or what file I want to start bringing into it. I mean starting the process, because I can bring them in once I've created a scene at any time. So I'm going to say that I want an FBX file. This was exported from Revit Architecture. And I'm going to pick on this, which was the conceptual design of the Frank Lloyd Wright building, the Zimmerman House in Manchester, New Hampshire. And I'll say open it up. It offers me the content of that file, which includes any animations that are in there. In this case there are none, but the FBX format really is a 3D Studio Max format, so you might have a FBX file that had multiple animations already in it. The camera would be the camera that was in the view, the 3D view that was exported to create the FBX file. So I had a 3D view in Revit Architecture and I would get that camera position as part of my model if I wanted it. I'm going to say that I don't really want it. I'm just going to bring in the model geometry. I bring it in and it kind of places it in the middle of my scene. But there's 2 things that I want to do. So if you look, it's loading the file at the moment. I'll just let it get on with that business. What I want to do is I want to be able to set where my floor is, and I want to be able to create the overall size of the immersive environment that I chose, and make it appropriate for the model. So it brought it in. It shows the whole model selected, and it's got a environment around it, which was the green field environment. It's also got a couple of default animations that if I click on it, there's the zoom in and there's the start to end. And these were created, or these were there because they were part of the template. The other thing is the whole model is actually selected at the moment, you know, so that if I wanted to, I could, you know, move it around. I don't really want to do anything with it. This moving pattern simply indicates that these objects are selected. I can click on my background to clear that selection mode, or I could have said Control Shift and A to clear all. I'm looking at my model, and what I'm going to do is I've got my familiar view cube. You know, I love the fact that it's in all the products, so it's familiar to me even if I've just started using Showcase. I've got a white line that indicates the ground level, and I can see my surrounding environment. What I'm going to do is first of all adjust the position of the ground level. So if I go to Edit and Set Floor Position, it tells me that the ground level or the floor position at the moment is 5 feet down. And this is because it automatically selects the bottom of my model, which happened to be the underside of my foundations. So what I'm going to do is set that to -2 inches, which will put it marginally below the floor slab that runs through this building. So if I do that, you can see that it's now set at the level. Maybe it doesn't look like it made a whole lot of difference, but you see when I turn back to a 3D view, the actual ground level is now at the level of this Cherokee red floor slab. The other thing I can do in my model is that I can control the objects that are in here. Let me just roll back so you can see this a bit more clearly. So I'm just using my normal Revit Architecture controls of rolling in or shift and drag on the center to rotate. I just want to show you the whole building there, and then I want to type in O, which is for organizer. I tend to work with the options that are fast keys. There's the file that I brought in, so I could bring in multiple files, but I'm just bringing in the one house. Under Arrange By, and it's got main at the moment, there is an option to say show me the Revit object model. The benefit of that is that if I expand this tree, you see it's got all the architectural objects, including topography. So beside it I can say, expand or contract the tree structure to see other objects. But the one I'm interested in at the moment is hiding and unhiding. You see, I can hide the terrain or the topography that I had as part of my Revit model, because I don't want to see it in this example here. So I just hid the topography that was in the model. Okay, I'm looking at it now, and I can kind of turn around and look at it and see this in context. Just to show you, you might have to do this in another project. The last kind of adjustment that I would make would be under here in the file and the scene settings, where I can choose to enlarge or reduce the size of the environment. This is the bubble that's around my model, or I can move the model left and right, X, Y, vertically up and down. Not move the model, so move the environment to position it around the geometry of the building itself. Just thinking, what else? There's one other thing I wanted to show you. If I really want to control this so that I can manage my model easily, you see that pivot point is out on the right hand side, and that's what it's turning around when I use the shift key. I'd like to actually control where that is, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the model a little bit. I'm going to say O for the organizer, or I think of it sometimes as objects, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say hide the roof so that I can see inside my house. Then I'm going to do Shift W and orbit center like this, so that I can actually place the orbiting point in the middle of the garden room or the living room of this house itself. That'll give me a lot more control when I want to turn the model. It'll pivot around that particular point. I'm going to move up to where it's got the close wheel command and get rid of it, and I think I'll stop at that point. Well, actually, let me stop by turning the roof on again. I'll stop at this point, and then I'll continue with some other options on what you can do in Showcase.